KPOO, the only station in all of the Bay Area playing the music of the Bay Area. And right now in the KPOO studios, I'd like to welcome Mr. San Francisco's very own Bonnie Simon to KPOO this afternoon. Hey, welcome.
Thank you.
Wow. So the very first club you opened was which one now?
The Playpen.
And that was when? When did you do that?
1961.
1961. Oh, that's going back.
Way back.
Uh-huh.
To give you an idea of some of the artists that I had, O.C. Smith, I don't know if you remember
Yes,
O.C.
of course.
Smith, and Merle Saunders.
Local guy.
Local, I had Ike and Tina Turner upstairs in the upper room. I had a host of various artists. Before I brought in live entertainment, the club was so popular with just a jukebox. On Friday and Saturday nights, we had people standing almost to the corner in a line trying to get in the club.
Wow, that's incredible.
It was a very popular club with the jukebox, recorded music.
Wow. So was it hard keeping a club like that going when you started off there?
It was hard in that it was a learning experience for me because I had not been in the actual club business. I had been in the liquor catering business. And fortunately, with all the problems I had with the post office, I did learn some management skills because I was a supervisor for 5 years in a finance station. So it was difficult at first. And as ever, you know, you apply yourself. You know.
If I can throw out some names to some people and you can get some comments on them, like one would be Red Fox.
Red, what an interesting guy. Red was appearing at a place down on Broadway called Sugar Hill. And he and I became friendly. I'd go down and check his act out. That's while I had the Playpen on Visadero Street. And we were nearing New Year's Eve, and I had gotten permission to stay open all night. And I told Red when I went down to see him, I said, look, we're going to be rolling all night, man. If you want to check us out afterwards, you want some drinks, come on over. Red came over, and he got over to the club about 2:30, and he stayed on stage until 6 that morning. Red Fox up at this place. And when he finished, I asked him, I said, Red, I owe you any money, man? He said, no, give me some of that cognac you got up there. You know how he talks. And that...
What about Miles Davis?
Miles was a good friend. He was a good friend of mine.
Yes.
We were friendly.
Sly Stone, of course, from the Bay Area.
Sly got his first shot at music, public shot, at the upper room that I had above the Playpen.
Yes.
My son Mark came to me. He was a close friend of Sly, and he asked me if they could use the upper room on Sunday afternoons to do some shows. Well, I wasn't interested in Sly. I was really interested in getting my son Mark involved in something, and I thought it was a good idea. I even went out and bought him a trumpet.
Oh, is that so? Wow.
Yeah, and he never learned to play it, incidentally. And anyway, Sly and his group, this was their first appearance. Sly at that time was doing a DJ thing, I think, for KRE. And the deal was they were supposed to cut me in on half the door. I think they charged like $2 to get in. And teenagers could come in with an adult. That was, again, on Sunday afternoons. Well, I think they did very well. We had a lot of people. But according to Sly, they never made any money, so they never gave me my half of the door.
And from the Bay Area, Etta James from San Francisco, I'm pretty sure you have some memories on her.
Good story. How'd you happen to mention Ella? Ella was appearing for me over at the Full Moon Saloon when I converted it over to a rock club. And she would pack them in. Ella was the sweetheart of the gay population. They loved her, especially when she'd do that song, Tell Mama. Okay, and one Saturday night, we had the place packed. Hardly any more seating, even standing room was gone. 9 o'clock came and Ella didn't show. Got on the phone. She was staying at a motel over on Lombard. And I asked her, I said, Ella, you coming? She said, oh, Bonnie, I was just about to call you. And I want to tell you, Bunny, I can't make it. I said, oh, no.
Oh, my goodness.
I said, oh, no, please. No. I said, Ella, we got people hanging from the rafters here. We got all these people who want to see you. Bonnie, I can't help it. You mind if I just tell you what she said?
Hey, go right ahead as long as we can say it on the radio.
Okay, she said, I'm sitting on the commode and I can't get off.
Uh-oh, okay.
She said, and that's it, I'm not coming in. So she cursed me, gave me what I insisted. She cursed me out pretty good, and I decided I wasn't going to get her off the commode. So yes, to answer your question, I did know Etta very well.
Hey, that's great. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people in the political field, politicians, would drop by your club, one of your clubs at one time or another.
One of the most famous living politicians, as I say, in San Francisco and perhaps in the state of California was Willie L. Brown. Willie opened his first campaign headquarters right next door to where the playpen was. And he'll tell the story, if you ever see him, that the playpen was responsible for him losing the first election.
Losing?
Losing the first election, the 18th district against Gaffney. But they were partying every night, and nobody was doing any work over there on his campaign. And so he tells the story, as I said, I was responsible for him losing the election.
Oh, wow.
I provided too much fun. Yeah.
What about Richard Nixon, the President of the United States of America?
I met Mr. Nixon when I was in Washington. As I said, I was director of staff recruitment for the entire Peace Corps, not just a region. And I got to meet him on a couple of occasions. The last time I saw him, a friend of mine from San Francisco who was very close to the White House, Alan May, he came to town, Fred Martin, I'm sorry. He came to town and we went to the White House. This was like after 6 o'clock. And we were walking, he was showing me through, and out of the library comes the Secret Service and Mr. Nixon. He came over. That's the last time I saw him. I had met him before, but he shook my hand and said, oh.
Hey, that's incredible.
I was in it.
So what are you doing today? Anything in particular?
I take care of my flowers. I have an orchard. I live over in Marin County in San Rafael. And I do some writing.
Oh, is that so?
Right now, I put everything aside and I'm writing my family history because I'm afraid it's going to be lost if I don't do that.
Well, you've got to do that kind of stuff, and you've got to put that information out so people can hear it. And it sounds like you got some interesting stories and some good stuff to tell.
I have some very good stories.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, Bonnie Simon on KPOO 89.5 FM. Any last words you might want to say to San Francisco and the Bay Area this afternoon?
No, just I wish I would have known I was going to be on radio. I would have certainly had my wife listening.
Hey, that's great. I'd like to thank you for dropping by. And one last...
Yeah, Maya Angelou and I, actually she says it's Angelou now. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. But anyway, we worked on Fillmore. When I was working for the post office, I'd work extra jobs in the evening. And Maya and I worked at Melrose Record Shop, owned by Dave Rosenbaum. Maya sold records, and I sold television sets. We had a television concession there. So we worked together, I don't know how long, but we certainly got to know each other well.
So when you go down Fillmore Street today, what do you think of? What comes across your mind?
It's almost with sadness. I walked Fillmore today from McAllister to Post and Fillmore, and I find it very kind of sad. You know,
a lot of people do say the same thing. Another person once told me, while walking down Fillmore, they can remember back in the 40s, a tear just comes down their eye.
It's easy to believe that because it was such a vibrant community. During the war, World War II, it was so crowded, and this is not an exaggeration, it was so crowded on Fillmore and also on Post Street that you had to walk sideways to get up and down the street.
Wow.
It was that crowded.
Well, that's incredible. A lot of action on Fillmore, too.
Yeah.
Any particular reason why you couldn't have a club on Fillmore Street?
No. No, I just felt that there was a better opportunity here on this area. And then also, during that period when I opened the club, the redevelopment was in the process of redeveloping the Fillmore.
Redeveloping the Fillmore.
As they did.
All right, Bonnie Simon, I'd like to thank you for dropping by this Friday afternoon. And it's been great having you on KPOO Radio. I'd like to thank you for dropping by.
It's been my pleasure.
All right, hey, thanks.
Thank you.
All right. Bonnie Simon.